It's time for Preserving Your Dignity and Your Money, Planning for Successful Aging with Nugen Law. And now your host, Bryan Nugen, estate planning and elder law attorney.
Good morning, and welcome to Preserving Your Dignity and Your Money, Planning for Successful Aging with Nugen Law. I'm attorney Bryan Nugen, founder of Nugen Law, and your host for our program. The purpose of our show is to have weekly, in-depth conversations about matters relevant to folks as they walk down the path of successful aging. Our listeners will learn what it is to age with dignity and how best to protect their money. I've been practicing law for 3 decades. I'm licensed to practice in Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, and Florida, and actively represent clients in all 4 states. My practice, the attorneys, and our interdisciplinary teams of professionals who practice at Nugen Law with me concentrate on working with clients in estate planning and elder law and areas related to them, such as protecting money from nursing home stays, securing benefits from programs like Medicaid and the VA, geriatric care coordination, estate and trust administration, guardianships, and planning for those with special needs. Nugen Law sees clients in many stages of life, but commonly we have folks reaching out when they or a loved one are showing signs of needing help. Those signs may include a chronic ailment or progressive decline before, during, or after a hospitalization, an instance of incapacity, caregiver burnout, stress on family members due to some or all of those instances I just mentioned. So as a reminder, if you hear something in today's broadcast which resonates with you, an area in which we may be able to help, please call Nugen Law at 260-925-3738, speak with one of our intake specialists, and schedule a meeting for either our Fort Wayne or our Auburn locations. You are also encouraged to see us online at www.nugenlaw, that's NUGENLAW.com. Before we get to our guest, and we've got a great guest today, this is important. Nugen Law will be presenting a free seminar on August 15th between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. in Fort Wayne with a deeper dive into how you can be sure to preserve your dignity and protect your money with topics like asset preservation, care management as you age, estate planning, and elder law. So please give us a call at 260-925-3738 to reserve your spot. So today, I have a passion project of mine. You've heard me talk about it before, stemming from my practice as an elder law attorney. I'm frequently learning about attorneys who, in order to remain in their home, need a little bit of extra help. As a result, I created TrueCare Seniors. In this studio, I have the director of TrueCare, the very capable, talented, and dedicated Mrs. Patty McGill. Thank you, Patty, for being here.
Good morning, Bryan. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate your being in the studio. I know that we were talking before going on the air how busy you are, so I appreciate your carving out some time to come in and speak to our listeners. Before we get too deep into what TrueCare Seniors and TrueCare Homes is about, Patty, please let the listeners know about your background and what drew you to this field.
So I started working in a hospital. I worked in a hospital many, many years, 30 plus. Moved to Indiana and got into assisted living. So I was a business office manager, went from doing that to being an executive director and administrator, got licensed in 2 states. I lived in Nevada as well. So I carried a license in Nevada and Indiana. So I left the assisted living field and came to TrueCare. And we have sincerely appreciated you being a part of the team. I have noticed a positive change, and I appreciate the clients that we're serving. Thank you.
And, all over northeastern Indiana, and it's in large part to the dedication that you have. And I don't say that lightly. I mean, Patty, you're in on Saturdays and Sundays and in the middle of the night. And
you know what, Bryan? People need help
24
Saturdays and Sundays and in the middle of the night.
It's true.
So that's why we're in this business, right?
Yeah, that is the truth. If you, quite honestly, if you don't have in your heart the idea, the notion to help people, it's the worst business to be in. If you have that and that's part of who you are, it really is a rewarding business, and I sincerely appreciate you working with me and with our clients as well. Patty, you talked about your work history. Why did you transition from a traditional institutional setting for caring for seniors as they age to TrueCare?
Well, so I loved assisted living as well, assisted living and memory care. It just started becoming very different. And in this climate of the workforce shortage, I just felt it was time for me to move on.
Sure.
I love dealing with the seniors, so I wanted to stay in the field, but not in where I was.
Fair enough. When you hear the phrase aging in place, that's a common one that's thrown around, aging in place, what does that mean to you, and how do we assist TrueCare clients with aging in place?
So aging in place is aging in the home or whatever place where they're comfortable. It also means that we transition and change with the needs of the client. So if the client might have, say, dementia and maybe mild to moderate, but they start declining and needing more help, we're able to do that. So aging in place means as the aging process continues, we continue providing care.
And that TrueCare meets their clients where they are.
Where they are, absolutely.
So if their home is a stick-built home that they've been in for years and years, we're going to assist them age in place there.
In their home, yes.
Yeah. If they decide to downsize and move into a condo and that's now their home,
we go with them there.
You better believe it.
Yeah.
And even in independent living facilities or assisted living facilities, if they require additional care, we go there as well.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yes, we
and
do.
we have, not with great frequency, but we've had clients at nursing homes as well.
Well, and one of the things about that too is, so if we go in and assist a client in an assisted living facility, so we not only benefit, but the assisted living benefits as well, because they can keep that client in their home, in their apartment at the assisted living, instead of having to move them out to a place that require for higher care.
Yeah, and you mentioned before, it's a constant staffing challenge. It's just the world in which we live in right now. There are 10,000 people a day turning age 65, and I'm sure there are at least 10,000 people a day leaving the workforce. And that huge population, those baby boomers, that silver tsunami, we don't have the same number of young people coming into the workforce as are leaving it. And so we've got this interesting cross-section of a huge aging population and not enough folks to necessarily provide the care.
Absolutely. It's a struggle every day.
Yeah, for sure. And so when we're able to provide care, TrueCare is able to provide care for residents, as we were talking about, in an assisted living facility. We're hopefully lifting some of the burden from the facility itself and allowing them to have a successful relationship with their residents there.
Absolutely.
And for the resident, the TrueCare clients to also have as good of an experience as possible.
Yes.
Yeah. So I will say that if we're talking about something today and you're interested in learning more from Patty or somebody else at TrueCare, you're welcome to give them a call at 260-333-6440, 260-333-6440, or online you could find them at www.true.care. That's www.true.care. When you receive inquiries, so let's say someone from the radio calls in and says, I heard you on the radio, Patty, and my mom needs some help or my spouse needs some help. So you get that call from an interested party seeking help from TrueCare. You've said that to me before, many people will call in and say, I need a nurse. I need a nurse at my home to take care of mom. I need a nurse at my home to take care of my spouse. What's the difference between home personal care, home health care? How does TrueCare fit into those categories?
So home health care comes in and manages the medical and health care condition of the client. They do physical therapy. They may take care of complex wounds, catheters. So when they leave, there's still nobody there to take care of that person. Home health care is very limited in their hours because it's driven by insurance. So we step in. Our job is to take care of the home and the person. So we do some housekeeping, meal prep, laundry, make beds, assist with showers, dressing. We even do hair and nails. And, they love it when they get all dressed up after a shower and get their hair done with clean sheets on the bed. So those are the
Even
things
lotion.
that we do. And the lotion, we lotion them up.
Yeah,
yes, we do.
Let's not forget that.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. So the care that's provided by TrueCare is really, it's personal care. It's not related to making a medical decision or providing medical care. I like to say that we're the hands, the eyes, the ears, right? We're observing what's going on. We would report what's going on, but not necessarily treat.
Absolutely.
And it isn't, as you're aging in place, it isn't necessarily about needing help 24 hours a day. Someone may be able to thrive in their home by having an attendant come in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so that we're making sure that there's food in the home, meals are properly made, bed sheets are clean, to your point, that the client is bathed and their laundry is finished and they're ready to seize the day and wait for us to visit in a day or two later. When would a person need in-home personal care versus home health care? When would the trigger be? We should be calling for or asking for home health versus asking for attendant care.
Well, you start. The family start seeing that there might be some changes. That maybe mom's not going through the mail, or maybe the power got shut off because mom didn't pay the bills because she forgot, or maybe lost the bill. So when they start seeing changes, that's when it's time, home care and personal service agency such as ours, we can go in before it gets to the point where they need to be hospitalized or go to a skilled nursing facility. Mm-hmm. So if we can go in and keep them healthy, make sure they get their meals, that they're getting their medications on time, because we do remind them to take their meds. So we can help in the home. It's not necessary that they have home health care, but they do need some eyes in the home to keep an eye on mom or dad.
You mentioned a few minutes ago distinction between home health care and their limited time that's in the home. How often are you normally seeing home health care agencies in the home?
Usually 3 times a week is max.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. And they're not there providing individual care.
No. Yeah, they go in and do, and there's a great need for them, so they go in and get their task done, and then they're out of there. So they don't do any of the housekeeping. They don't change linens. On occasion, they do help with showers, but that's not always the case.
Sure. But we work in tandem with them.
Yes, we do.
TrueCare works in tandem with them very successfully.
Yes.
That's a great working relationship, without a doubt.
It is, because we're the CNA for home health care, or the nurse, when it's time for them to go, they can share information. So we can, as a team, it's great continuity of care as well.
So again, as our to remind our listeners, if there's something that Patty's talking about that's relevant to you and you think you might need a little bit of extra help for yourself, a loved one, please give her a call at 260-333-6440. Now, Patty, I know your care providers deliver excellent care to TrueCare clients. When you're looking to hire, what personality type or what style of work preference are you looking for when folks are applying to work with TrueCare?
So we look for people that have the passion to take care of the older people. Anyone that has a passion as a caregiver's heart, as we call it. If they have experience, that's fantastic. If they don't, we'd love to train you. I have so many examples of people that had no experience that with some good training, they're just exceptional with our seniors. So, we post ads, we take people that are referred by other employees. Even sometimes we hire people that are family members of our clients.
Interesting. And so let's talk about what does that process look. So if somebody was interested in working with you, Patty, what would they first do?
So they can apply online on our website.
And that's www.true.care.care.
Yes.
C-A-R-E.
Yep. So they can apply there. They can call the office and speak with myself or our scheduler or our HR, our talent officer. So we're all available. We can do interviews over the phone. We prefer to do them in person. That way we can get their paperwork done. And then we do a training with them. So they do their training in the office. They do a skills training. They do CPR. We do drug and background checks on everybody. And they also have online training that they continue to do during the time of their employment.
So what type of candidate or what maybe profession, if there is one, would you encourage to apply to become a part of the TrueCare team?
So I would encourage anybody that thinks that anyone that feels that they have the passion to take care of people. But recently, so we have some people that are retired that work for us, and they are great employees because they have the work ethic that we're accustomed to, and they're great companions for our older people, for our residents, our clients. They're great companions. And it's funny because the clients feel like they have something in common with them. Mm-hmm. They don't feel like, a 22-year-old is coming in to boss them around.
Right.
So I love hiring people that are retired that just want a little extra fun money or, vacation money. They are welcome to apply.
Just before going on the air, we were talking about a recent person that's joined the TrueCare team, and they are early 70s, retired, and loving the job so far.
She is, and she's a rock star, and I'm going to have to call her when I leave here and tell her we were talking about her. Yeah. But, she's awesome. She calls, and, she said she only wanted 3 or 4 hours a week. But she calls and checks in every day to see if we need her somewhere.
Right.
She's killing it.
She's enjoyed it.
Yes, she is.
She had the heart.
She had the heart.
Yeah, for sure. What's your saying that you use? Be someone's sunshine?
Yes. Yeah, be someone's sunshine.
Yeah, that's very nice. Yeah, and your caregivers have a pin and
Yeah, we pass out pins. A lot of times, and I tell my staff this all the time, most days you are the only person that they're going to see in their home in a day, mm-hmm. sometimes in a week, sometimes in a month. So they really look forward to our caregivers. So we always tell the caregivers that they bring the sunshine.
Sure.
And, our clients look forward to that visit.
Do applicants need to have worked in this field to apply for a position with TrueCare?
No. We train them and we take them under our wing. We want to make them successful. We want to help them mm-hmm. be successful. And the best part is we want them to love their job.
Of course. Yeah. It can be, there's no doubt about it. It can be a stressful position. I remember I had worked a shift early on when TrueCare was first starting, and I had my training and I felt good, and I walked in there and all of a sudden I've got this responsibility of this, this mature woman, and it is a great responsibility for sure.
It is.
She was very pleased to have me, and it was a fine working relationship for the shift that I was there. But gosh, it is a responsibility, and I think that's the personality that you want. Someone that looks at it, goes in there and recognizes that this is a job and that it is an important service that you're providing. And you have someone's care there in your hands. And to your point, Patty, you may be a person that they see more frequently than family or mm-hmm. friends, and there is a camaraderie that establishes, for sure.
Well, and it gives, so on the opposite end of that, we have the families that are there all the time and they just mm-hmm. need to get out, mm-hmm. Or they're tired and they need a break. Mm-hmm. So we help not only the client, but the family as well. And, Bryan, I always say, it took a village to raise us, and that's the village now.
Some of us more than others.
Right? We're the village now to take
Right.
care of them.
Yeah.
Those are the people that raised us, and they were our librarians and
Yep.
checkers at the grocery store that
Yep.
gave us a little treat when we checked out with Mom. And
Our teachers, our nurses, for sure.
postmen, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What types of hours should a TrueCare employee expect to work?
So it's very, very flexible. They can work 4 hours a week. They can work 2 hours a day. They can work 40 hours a week. It's very flexible. So we have moms that drop their kids off or walk their kids to the bus at 8 o'clock in the morning and have to be back to pick them up at 2. So they can work between 8:30 and 1:30. So we have a lot of people that do that. We have people that just want evening hours. It's very, very flexible. So what we do is we match up our staff with clients to match up the hours so that everybody gets what they need.
I remember years ago, I had a client in TrueCare that was at an assisted living facility, and the family also hired 24-hour-a-day care from TrueCare to come in and help her and make sure she was in a good place. And we had put a care provider in the home that was a retired nurse. And the client that we were caring for also came from the medical field. And the TrueCare employee was a third shifter. And our client shifted her sleeping schedule, so the two ladies could sit up all night and visit and chat.
Gosh.
And there was a true bonding between those two women. It was beautiful to see.
Yes.
It was a great experience for our care provider. It was a great experience for our client. The family appreciated it. And although they were a little concerned that Mom was staying up later than she was used to, it was a very positive experience. And that's a heartwarming, that's a great example of saying an employee that likes to work third shift, that's their preference. We had the client for them, and it was a great experience for both the client and the care provider.
Yeah, and I mean, that is true success, right?
Right.
You had a happy client and a happy employee. It doesn't get any better than that.
So if someone wants to reach out to you for an employment opportunity, as a reminder, the phone number at TrueCare is 260-333-6440, or to go online at www.true.care, C-A-R-E. Patty, what would a typical day of work of a care provider look like if they were to be working with you and your team at TrueCare?
Well, it all depends. It's all based on the client's care plan. So it could be anything from making beds and vacuuming to preparing meals for 3 or 4 days. It could be a shower and possibly a trip to the grocery store. Sometimes it is a day playing cards. So if the client needs some extra company and some extra attention, they're allowed to sit down, play cards, watch a movie with them, take a walk with them, whatever it is that the client needs that day.
Let's talk about the client paying for those services. Typically, how are those services paid?
So they're paid through Medicaid has a program. VA has a program to assist seniors in their homes. And then we have private pay as well.
All right.
And long-term care insurance.
Sure. So at least half of the clients are private pay and
yeah, I would say that.
Long-term care insurance. But the point in recognizing that care can be paid for through the VA, through Medicaid, or private pay, long-term care insurance, is it really is the services that are provided by TrueCare really are available to everyone, regardless of their economic circumstance.
Absolutely.
And if they're hearing this on the radio and saying, "Oh my gosh, I don't know if I can afford it," or there are multiple options for them to have those services paid for. So what I will say to our listeners, Nugen Law will be presenting a free seminar on August 15th between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. in Fort Wayne, with a deeper dive into how you can be sure to preserve your dignity and protect your money, with topics like asset preservation, care management as you age, estate planning, and elder law. Please call Nugen Law at 260 925-3738 to reserve your spot at our seminar on August 15th. Now, Patty, back to you in TrueCare. Could you share more about a particularly impactful relationship you've developed with a client since our last conversation on WOWO?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. This morning, actually, on my way here, I had a conversation with a family member reclining about a decline in the client.
Mm-hmm.
Those are hard conversations.
Sure.
But that's one of the things that we
it's
do.
Hard because you feel for them.
Yes.
And you care about them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's one of the best values of what we do, is that we do have an eye, and we notice when there are changes,
mm-hmm.
and we can give that information to the family so that they can follow through with it.
Mm-hmm.
So many, I can't even think of what is the most impactful one right now, because there's so much all the time.
I will say, even in my world as an elder law attorney, when the client asks me, may I give you a hug? And it's such a small thing, but it really isn't. It is impactful. And I think what people lose sight of is they have this notion, oh, you're a care provider. Oh, mm-hmm. You're an attorney. You don't have a heart. And the reality is you're not in this field of working with seniors and the elderly unless you really do want them to have success. You do want them to do well in life and meet them where they are and give them the best quality of life as is possible.
Yeah, and that's your job satisfaction, right? When you know that they appreciate it. We have a client who has a pretty moderate to severe Alzheimer's, who in moments of clarity says things like, I appreciate you so mm-hmm. much. And that might be the only thing he says in a day.
Yeah.
Right? We have, an in-home client who is fabulous, and on the days that she's having clarity, she likes to get dressed up.
Mm-hmm.
She likes to be fancy.
Yeah.
So her caregiver knows when those days are and is able to help her with that.
Those as you say, those moments of clarity are beautiful.
They are beautiful.
Yeah, the clouds part. And
with all the sadness in Alzheimer's and dementia, there is some beauty in there as well.
Of course, yeah. How do you, so you were mentioning you were speaking to a client on the way here or a client's family on the way here today. So how do you handle situations where a client's health significantly declines or their needs dramatically change? How do you handle that? What do you do as the administrator, the director at TrueCare? What's your next step?
So obviously, I like to visualize if there's a change. I listen to what the staff have to say. That's very important. I speak with the family. Usually that would lead to a visit with their physician. And sometimes it's providing more hours in the home, having someone at a different time of day. If somebody seems to be struggling more in the evenings or sundowning, something like that, then we may need to change our hours and go later in the day instead of first thing in the morning.
So if a client can no longer remain in their home as they need extended care, 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day, 24 hours a day, you have an alternative.
We do. We have a great alternative. We have 2 care homes in Auburn. We have 2 4-bedroom, 2-bath homes where we take care of people 24 hours. We do all the meals. We have people, of course, every shift. And it's a great, great option. They get their own room. They have a lot of say in what they're eating. They watch the shows that they want to watch on TV. We have some activities. We have a hairdresser that comes in. So we have all the comforts of the real home. We have dogs that visit.
Yeah.
We have the library that brings books and magazines and movies and
relevant to their age and their genre of movies.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Well, our time is running short, and we need to wrap up our discussion with Patty, administrator of TrueCare. So you may reach Patty by calling her at 260-333-6440. Patty, thank you sincerely for being with us and sharing your extensive knowledge. I appreciate that. Give Patty a call if you'd like to learn about in-home care or the TrueCare Homes. Next, as a reminder, Nugen Law represents clients in Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, and Florida. Please call us at 260-925-3738 to speak with one of our intake specialists and schedule a meeting for us to meet with us at either our Fort Wayne or Auburn locations. You are also encouraged to see us online at www.nugenlaw.com. Thank you to listening, Preserving Your Dignity and Your Money, Planning for Successful Aging with Nugen Law. I look forward to speaking with our listeners next weekend, Saturday at 9 a.m. Enjoy your weekend.
You've been listening to Preserving Your Dignity and Your Money, Planning for Successful Aging with Nugen Law. For more information, log on to NugenLaw.com or email help@NugenLaw.com. Nothing stated in today's program should be considered as legal advice, should not be considered as having created an attorney-client relationship between show host and guests and any listener. Nugen Law is not liable for anything that happens as a result of a listener relying on provided information as legal advice. The content is for informational purposes only.